Unrestricted funding sounds pretty unattractive. It sounds like you're going to say to somebody, here's a cheque for £20,000, go and spend it, and let me know at the end of the year what you've done with it. And the biggest problem in the international development sector is there's a mismatch between funders' perception of what is needed out there and the reality that people on the front line know are the biggest problems. So nearly all the funding is done in, all the decisions are made in New York and London and Zurich by people who don't spend very, very much time on the front line there. And people on the front line will take the money because they need it. Generally speaking, if you ask them what their biggest problems are, they'll tell you, but they're not covered by a lot of the funding. So much of the funding is misplaced and mismanaged. So that's a problem. We have recently given our first unrestricted grant to an organization called GFCF, Global Fund for Community Foundations, which is based in Johannesburg and run by Dr. Jenny Hodgson. They're not all that big. They've got a couple of £1 million a year in funding, but our consultant is a co-founder of the Shift the Power movement with Jenny Hodgson. So our trustees decided to give a 5-year unrestricted grant to Jenny and said to me, talk to Jenny and decide what she wants to do with the money. So I had a Zoom with her, and I said, look, we'll commit unrestricted funding for 5 years or more to you. Now think about it and come back and tell me what your greatest needs are and what you think we should spend the money on. And she came back and she said, our biggest problem is funding local community organizations in Africa, in Kenya, in Uganda. What we'd like to do is every year we'll take the money you've funded, and we will give it all to one local community foundation, which we think is well led, where we've done due diligence, which is impressive, got a track record, and then we'll do another one the next year, and we'll do a different one every year, and then we'll try and get them all to work together as partners. And I said, fine. And then Jenny said, well, what kind of reporting do you want? I said, I'd like me or our trustees to have 2 Zooms a year with you, but also with your people on the front line. And we'd like an annual report from you, not more than 4 pages long. So it can be done. It's not easy, and it's a bit of a risk. But the biggest problem, I think, for funders is that they don't take enough risks. So, I mean, in marketing, 90% of new brands fail. That's a scandal. That's been the case for the last 60 years. And yet I would say at least half of the NGO projects succeed. So it's fantastic. But nobody in the NGO sector will dare to say they've had a failure. We're open about our 2 failures, and we talk about them, and they're on our website and so on. So those are the things. Need to take more risks, and there are models for doing it.